Hey friends, it's Carol, Saltbox Stitcher, back for an early video. Today is Saturday, May 20th. You'll probably see this middle of the week, or sooner, whatever. I'm a little early because we're trying to figure out the times that we're going to do the quilt video, and Mike didn't want to have two videos to edit at the same time. So I'm going to do this one, and it's just going to be quick. So, what episode is this, dear? Here comes the grand entrance. Thank you.
Okay. You know how you used to like to have practice tests in school?
Yes.
We're going to have a practice test first.
Okay.
Who's buried in Grant's tomb?
Grant.
Very good. You're ready for the real test. How old was our son on his 5th birthday?
5.
And what year was that birthday?
He was born in 90, so that'd be 95. Oh, episode 95. Okay, thank you, dear. Got my coffee. I'm ready to go. Okay, this is going to be a short one. I didn't have any haul, so I don't have that to show. I have been watching some FlossTube, but I'm not going to shout out anybody in specific. I'll do that next time. I'm busy with quilting, customers' quilts on my long arm, and I went to a 3-day girls retreat from one of my stitching groups. It was a daytime, 10 to 4, whatever, for 3 days last week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Had a great time. There were about 15 of us, and it was just wonderful. So I can't recommend that any stronger, but if you have local friends, take time out. And I know some people worked, so they weren't able to come all 3 days, but you know, take time out to just be with your friends. Everybody contribute to lunch, and it just was really fun. So I may insert some pictures. I'm not sure. I don't have very many because I didn't take the main pictures, but Susan Aki, Yard Girl, y'all follow her on Instagram. She's a phenomenal quilter. And I asked her, I said, so Susan, how many books do you have out now? She goes, oh, I don't know. I said, well, I think it's about 9. She goes, well, I've been working on one, and I don't know if that's my 9th or my 10th or whatever. Anyway, she's made quite a name for herself and is extremely creative and talented. So that was fun. Spend time with her. But what have I been stitching? I have my Book of Days. I got this lovely Book of Days cover for from Lisa Prims on Greenway, and I don't sticker up a lot, but I put a few stickers in, and I got these house stickers from the lovely Ginger Schul, and you can order those at Northumberland Sampler House. So anyway, what have I been stitching? Well, I've been pretty monogamous because I've been working on my 5 for 5, 5 by 5, 5 times 5, however you want to say it. 5 samplers for the month of May. That's how I do my mania, for 5 days each. So I had worked, I'm kind of in the middle of switching. So I'd worked, I think, almost 8 days or 7 days on Anne Grimshaw, and then I worked 6 days on Elizabeth Cheetham, which is a Scarlet Letter piece. This is what it looks like, Elizabeth Cheetham by the Scarlet Letter. I love this piece. There isn't any over 1. However, there are satin stitches that go all the way around for the inner border, as well as there's a dividing band. And I'm going to wait and do those at the end. I don't use a hoop or a Q-snap or a scroll rod or any of that, but still, just the handling, I think satin stitchers can get a little bit maybe distorted. I don't know. So this is my progress on Elizabeth Cheetham. I was able to do all the words in this kind of pinkish part. And then I was able to do the band below with the flowers right here. And then I got to start on the middle section, which is 3 trees, baskets, some animals. And then I got to start on the band underneath that, and also the band that goes underneath that. So I got to start on this. I got this band finished, and I'm working on this band. And I'm trying to do the strawberries along the outside border as I go. The border's finished as far as the bones of it, but I'm trying to do these little strawberries, the red ones, as I go. So that was the first or the second sampler of my mania that I worked on. And the next one, and that's in a project bag from Penny and Toonie. Penny and Toonie bags on Etsy. The next one that I pulled out is my Tong Uffindell by Hands Across the Sea. This sampler, I almost feel like, is at the extent of my ability. And that is because of all this. I've shared it before. It's really just satin stitches, but you outline it with either a stem stitch or a back stitch. And then you pad it by, oh, and I got the original book that has the sister Isabella and Anne. I should have started with Isabella. There's a lot less over one. Because this one, there's over one motifs. So basically what you're going to do on this, oh, that's Isabella's side. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. And there's more than one area. Well, I'll show you my progress in just 1 second, but this is how you do this. So there's a satin stitch band, you outline these flowers or leaves, whatever, and then you pad stitch them by just putting a bunch of like back stitches in there, and then you satin stitch over that. And then these little doodads are satin stitched. And then the verse is all over one, this is over one, and there's motifs over one. So I'm plugging along. I'm trying not to let it get in my head because that is going to be challenging. Now maybe I'll start it and I'll be like, what was I worried about? This is easy. That's what I'm hoping happens. So what I worked on this time, and I think I've put three or 4 days on this piece. I usually start them on like Monday, Sunday, whatever. So here's what I finished on this one. I completely finished this tree. I only had a part of that done and the little buds on it. I finished this tree and all the leaves on that. I finished the basket. I had some of the basket finished. I finished this guy and this guy, these little things. And then I did these little whatever on the side of the basket. So that's my progress on that first section. So I'm trying to get all of this finished before I move on to all of this. I just don't want to skip ahead, at least to get the back stitching. And I'm going to practice on a piece of practice linen. So I think it's a gorgeous, I've loved this since it first was released, and it's probably hands down my favorite hands across the sea sampler. So I love this one, and I'm kind of determined to finish it. So, oh, and back up on Elizabeth Cheetham, I'm using the Aversois silks, and I'm also using the Aversois silks on Anne Uffindell. I have them in this Primitive Stitcher. Suzette used to sell these. I don't know if she still does or not. It's like chipboard, and then it's got the rings that you can put all the floss away bags. So this is what I have, where I have my silks, and they're beautiful. So that, my friends, is really the only progress I've made on my samplers. And then I had 2 new starts, and one I finished. It's small, so don't get too excited. I pulled out the Red, White, and Bloom. I think I talked about this last time. And I decided to do this guy first, Uncle Sam. And I finished him. This is on 36 count Winter Brew. Oh, this pattern is by With Thy Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. I think this came out, 2 years ago, 2021. And this is on 36 count Winter Brew by R&R, and there he is. I actually made a mistake on the color of his coat. I had some threads in here, and there was a red, there was an off-white, there was a white, there was a gold, and there was a blue, and I thought, well, that's all I need. I never checked it against the list of flosses. So I'm stitching away on him, and I realized that it was supposed to be, his coat was supposed to be blue suede by Weeks instead of Peacoat. Now Peacoat is almost a navy blue. It's also by Weeks.
Navy peacoat.
Yeah, a navy peacoat. But then the blue on the flag is supposed to be peacoat, and his coat is supposed to be blue suede. You would think that would be his shoes if you all are old enough to remember the song Blue Suede Shoes. Anyway, I think it looks fine. I was no way change it because I'm just not. And the little girl, Liberty Lady, her dress is peacoat. So, I mean, hello, what's the difference? So this is Red, White, and Bloom. I finished the first one, and I need to fully finish it. And then I had another start, and that is, I think I called this Flag Folk last time. Somebody I was watching, I think it was the Camping Stitcher. What's her first name? I'll think of it. She has a segment, Things I Forgot Last Time, or something like that. I should have a Things I Need to Correct. I think I called this Flag Folk, and Flag Folk is actually a finished piece by that I did by Not Forgotten Farm. I mean, it's not framed. This is Flag Flock. Flag Flock and Sheep Keep. So I got to start on this, and it's not a huge start, but this is on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha, which is what it calls for. And I just got the flag at the top, which is quite a bit of stitching, actually. So the flag is finished, and I'm ready. Once I do the 1776 and the pole on the flag, then I can get down here and work on the flowers and then go right into the sheep. So, Flag Flock by Plum Street. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all I've been stitching on. Now this is the, here's the threads. It's a combination of Weeks and DMC. I don't think there's any others in there. Some gold, some greens. It's got a little of everything. These were the threads for Red, White, and Bloom. DMC, Classic Colorworks. Nope. Yes, Classic Colorworks and Gentle Art and Weeks. The next thing when I finish, or I may start it before I finish one of those. I don't know. I'm definitely going to do another one of the Red, White, and Bloom. I'd like to do at least 3 of those. And this one that I want to work on is Plum Street, God Bless America, which, by the way, I had extreme FOMO, fear of missing out, at the Amana retreat with Paulette. Because Paulette and Brenda Gervais both have decided to take some time off from retreats. Obviously, they'll still be designing, but I'm sure as a designer, it's difficult if you're like doing clubs and you're doing retreats and then you're trying to do market releases and, you know, all of that, expo releases. So good for them, but that I would have loved to have been at that Amana retreat. So anyway, but as far as retreats, in June, we're taking at least part of my life tour and we're going to drive to Kansas, and I'm going to meet up with my sister and we'll stay there for a few days, and then we're going to head to Spring Green for Stitch Camp at Country Sampler, which is in the middle of June, the weekend in the middle of June. I cannot wait. It's going to be so fun. And the designers are Alma from Blackbird, Stacy Nash, and Sampler's Not Forgotten, which is Kimberly Nugent. I think that's the three designers. Anyway, I desperately want to start this one. Desperate? I don't know that I'm desperate, but I want to start this one. This is God Bless America by Plum Street. This came out last year. Oh, I started to say the piece. See, hopefully I get back to where I was. If I don't, as my mom used to say, call the men in the white coats. If you don't know what that means, it means you're going to be hauled away by the crazies, or assumed to be one of the crazies. What I started to say was the piece that Paulette did at Amana was so awesome. I cannot wait. And Vanessa from Flame Fingers on Instagram, you got to go. She literally smoking hot fingers because she's already finished with it. And the retreat was just like a week ago. Hello. That's day and night stitching or needles flying. Anyway, I love that piece, and when it comes out, I will be the first to get it. Now, I said that on Live on Little also from the retreat she did last year, and I have it and it's kitted and I still haven't started. That might be a start soon. I don't know. Maybe that'll be a July 4th start, Live on Little. That's a good idea. Glad I thought of that. Anyway, this is God Bless America, and this, I desperately, here we are again, desperate. I want to start this. So that is my wanna, coulda, shoulda, and did stitching. Oh, that's on Patriots Brew. I kind of had to steal this piece from another kit. But this is Patriots Brew by R&R, and that is what this is stitched on. And I have some of the floss, but I'm missing a few. I probably have them somewhere. I just need to steal them from another project. I'm going to show you three pieces that are former finishes that are patriotic. And I've sort of half decorated for patriotic. Not really. I'll add some more later. The first piece that I did years ago, I did this in 92. It's by the City Stitcher. I would think you'd probably have to get this on the secondary market, although sometimes 1884 Stitchery has some old pieces, so I don't know if she did this one or not by the City Stitcher. It's called Americana Sampler. And this is one of the few things that I actually have matted. I don't have a lot of things matted. I did this one, I think I said 92. I still love it. I even like the matte. I just, it's a red house with stars and an alphabet. I mean, come on. Love it. some of my old videos. I've shown some of these before, so if you watch me for a while, you're like, yeah, we've seen that before. The next one that I want to show you that's a former finish is, a lot of people say, well, you don't use glass. Do you get dust? Yeah. But I get dust on quilts laying around the house too. Everything's dusty. Okay. Grand Old Flag. This is actually put out by Blackbird, but the piece was designed by Maggie Bononomy. Now, if you're ever with Maggie in a class, she'll say, well, I don't cross stitch. And I say, well, you put out a pattern or two. And she said, yeah, Blackbird. I have some under there. I think she designed it. I don't know if she actually stitched it. Doesn't really say it was stitched by anybody else, but it's called Grand Old Flag. It's designed by Maggie Bononomy, but it's under Blackbird. And this one, I couldn't find a date when this one came out, but it came out a while ago. This is one I framed myself. It's not stretched near tight enough, but I love it. It's probably done on like 30 count with 2 strands, which is how I used to do all of them. 30, 28, 30, 32. Grand Old Flag by Blackbird, designed by Maggie. The last thing I'm going to show you is this one. This is by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, and this used to hang like on this wall. It was probably the one that I got the most questions about. It's called Liberty House, and it's by Brenda Gervais. If you can't find it like on an online store or in your local store, you can get it from Country Stitches online. And I've listed her website many, many times. countrystitchesonline.com. And here's my finished piece. And I also love this frame with the stars. I have a number of things with this frame. And this was framed in Wichita at Heart's Desire, which sadly is a cross-stitch store that's going to be closing. It's actually for sale, so maybe somebody will buy it. But it's in Kansas, yes. Wichita, Kansas. Did I not say that?
You didn't say Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas. I love it. I have loved this for years. I don't know when I stitched this, but it's been a while ago. Within the last maybe 8 years, it does have 2 strands.
Just look at the sticker on the back.
I want to... Shush. He's always after me.
No sticker.
He's always after me to label them on the back, which I should do, but I haven't yet. Anyway, so that is all oh no, one more thing I want to show you. I put a different quilt up. This is a Kim Deal quilt. I actually had a kit for this. Not sure what the name of the pattern is. It's got baskets, if you can see. No, it doesn't. It looks like baskets from a distance, but it's just a pieced square. The last thing I want to show you, I had this hanging up here for a while, and I had so many people ask about it. I searched and searched and searched, and I finally found the pattern, and that's this quilt that was hanging up there. So many of these things I did a while ago. I hand appliqued and then machine quilted this. And the side triangles are actually hand buttonhole stitch. Can you see that? And I finally found the pattern. It is by Renee Plains. And she used to design under the name Liberty Star. And this is called A Bird in Hand. She used to do doll patterns too. I don't know if Renee Plains is still doing it. I don't know. I want to say she really got into pottery. I used to see her post on, I think, Facebook maybe. Renee planes, a bird in hand. So that is the answer to that question. And she does actually have pattern in here for the doll too, which would be fun to make in my spare time. That is all I have. This is a short video, 24 minutes. That's about what I wanted to do. So Hubs can get this uploaded. I'm a little bit early, like I said,
Hubs?
but Hubs. That's short for husband.
Okay.
You can call me Whiffy. Hubs and Whiffy. Anyway.
Sounds like a law firm.
Yeah, Hubs and Whiffy. Law firm. I wish. Okay, so I hope you're having a good week. I hope you're getting excited to stitch some Patriotic. I'm going to continue stitching and probably through the middle of July. I decorate through the end of July, and then middle of July or so I'll switch to fall. And at some point I may do a complete pattern and finished projects Patriotic, because I do have quite a few Patriotic around the house that are framed. Some are not framed, but some are framed, and I'll do a whole parade of all that. I don't know when I'll be back. I'm going to do the quilt sale video, and that'll be a while because that'll take Mike a lot of time to load all the pictures for that. I think we're shooting for somewhere around June 1st for the quilt sale. Something like that. We'll see. I don't know what day of the week June 1st is, so we'll try to coordinate it so that it's yeah. Subscribe to the video to make sure you find out. I told you last week about the quilt sale, so I'm not going to go into that again. But I will be back for another floss tube probably the first week of June before we leave on our trip. And till then, I will be stitching, and I hope you will too. So, love ya. Bye.